Every day, we are facing social issues. Issues that all of us are part of. Issues that we have to be concerned. That is why we have this program, Issue 101. We tackle issues that affect our localities. Issues that all of us should participate. Issues that also affect our environment and communities. And issues that affect our government. Issue 101. Here is your host, Issue 101. You're with Senior Simon. Senior Simon. Senior Simon. Issue 101.
Hello world! This is yours truly, Senior Simon. Welcome to another edition of our live stream on
Issue 101.
And once again, this is your host,
Senior Simon.
a firm and courageous confidant of truth, an agent of light and clarity to a darkened and unclear controversies in our society and its people. Welcome, 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 welcome! Hello world! How are you out there in the outer space? If somebody are listening to us, once again, welcome to our show, Issue 101, where we are going to tackle hot issues and hot topics, latest topics, hot topics and hot cakes. Yes, that's right here on Issue 101. Today is Saturday, May 13, 2023. How are you, everyone? And I apologize if there are some things that we especially including the sounds, whatever we have here, because the thing is we don't we are adjusting our what we call this our thingy here, our equipments. That's right, because we are actually upgrading. That is why I wasn't able to have live stream for a while, and that's right, and that is why I am currently doing some adjustment in our equipment right here. That is the reason that we are having this some kind of slight trouble. Because we are like this one. I don't get why there is no sound for this. Let me adjust this for a while, folks. Go issues. If I will be able to get the sound of this one, like that. So I don't know how to fix this. All right. Hopefully this one will do the thing. Let me have this. Alright. Okay, let us check that once again. Alright. So, it's fixed now. Cool issues. Once again, welcome to our live stream on Issue 101. And if you haven't done this yet, may I invite you and inform you to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell so that you will be updated whenever we are having our live stream like this, Issue 101. And also, please support our Facebook fan page. Our Facebook fan page is Senior Simon Issue 101. Please click the follow and like button so that you will also be updated in our Facebook fan page. And also, we also have at Senior Simon. What? All right. At Senior Simon 101 Twitter account, Cool Issues. So once again, this is yours truly,
Senior Simon.
And for our discussion on this live stream, Cool Issues, we are going to tackle these issues about they, them, which is, I do believe, is demonic. Why I said, or why did I mention that this what do you call this they, them as third person pronoun is demonic? That is what we are going to tackle. And another issue that we are going to discuss for this live stream, cool issues on this afternoon in the Philippines, Saturday, May 13, 2023. This issue in the US where a man who choked a homeless, yes, you heard it right, a homeless man has been choked by a man, which a case has been filed against him, and it is a manslaughter. Yes, that's right. A manslaughter has been filed against this person, and he is freed or freed, right? Yeah. If you want to know the details, just stick to this video until it ends so that you will be able to learn and to know what we are talking here.
Issue 101.
So, Issues, once again, welcome to our live stream on Issue 101. This is yours truly, Senor Simon. We're going to tackle some issues around the world. Our first topic will be they, them is demonic. Or not the, actually, our first topic we'll talk this one. This will be our second topic, though it is been noted here as the first one. But we are going to talk about, and let me explain before you do some violent reaction. Before you do that, co-issues, first let me explain why I designate the they, them word as demonic. Alright? And the other topic that we will be the first that we are going to tackle is this issue about a man who choked and actually killed a homeless person, a homeless man, but right now is freed. So that is what we are going to tackle, co-issues. But before anything else, let us first take a look at the latest news in the US, which, according to this news, back in Uvalde, Texas, co-issues, which just within this year has been one of the places where shooting in schools was or had happened recently, and it was earlier this today. According to this news from ABC News, nearly all Uvalde students picked up early by parents from school following gun-related threat. According to this news by ABC News, which our computer did not see. Okay. According to San Felipe del Rio CISD, in a press release, unfortunately, as the anniversary of the Uvalde tragedy approaches, we will see more people wanting to scare and disrupt our schools. So this story, it says that a Uvalde, probably it is read as Uvalde. Okay, co-issues. Okay. A Uvalde parent picked up her second grade daughter from school after hearing about the threats. She said there were only a handful of students left in class when she picked her up her other daughter, who was a survivor of the Robb Elementary School mass shooting, was not in school Friday. She said it is nerve-wracking every time there are threats. Law enforcement need to take it serious every time the fear is real. Of course. The post also prompted the Uvalde School District to cancel their pep rally on May 12. The district did not implement an early release for the remaining 10% of students in order to prevent students from arriving at an empty home without guardian supervision. According to Gonzalez, this parent, I think that fear is always going to be there, and as much as we try to prepare ourselves, you can never be too safe. The mass exodus from Uvalde schools Friday afternoon is indicative of a community still reeling from the mass shooting that killed 90 students and 2 of their teachers nearly 1 year ago. So it was not this year, but it happened last year. I thought, I think it's May. Was it? But there was a shooting just recent, right? Anyway, that killed 90 students and 2 of their teachers nearly. Okay, that was the other one. All right. So, Uvalde Interim Superintendent Gary Patterson said in a statement that these types of situations are occurring at a high frequency rate. The district became aware of another threat on Snapchat that turned out to have originated in Florida on May 5. Patterson wrote that the post was an attempt to disrupt the school day and did not present any danger to students. According to Patterson, we cannot afford to take anything for granted. We expect social media threats to increase as we near our 1-year date.
Issue 101.
So that's it. Co-issues regarding that panic that happened in Uvalde once again due to these threats that happened in social media about probable school shootings like what happened almost a year ago. So they are going to commemorate on May 13, I do believe, did happen May 13, that school shooting that killed 19, that victimized 19 students and 2 of their teachers' school issues. So let's tackle another of our topic for this episode, because this is the news that happened, issues in as published by some or most of the news outlets in the US. So according to this news report from ABC News, Daniel Penny, the man accused of choking subway rider Jordan Neely to death, released on bond. Jordan Neely was homeless when he was killed by a fellow subway passenger. So according to this news report, co-issues, former U.S. Marine Daniel Penny turned himself in to New York City police on Friday in connection with the chokehold death of Jordan Neely aboard a subway train. Penny, who is 24, was placed under arrest for second-degree manslaughter and handcuffed. He appeared in court under police guard and did not enter a plea. Assistant District Attorney Joshua Steinglass said prosecutors conducted a thorough investigation that included interviews with eyewitnesses, 911 callers, and responding officers before moving forward with the criminal charge. Hold on, by the way, co-issues, I have to turn on something here for a while. Sorry for that. I just have to turn on something here, co-issue, so that I can read your comments, your opinion, whatsoever you wanted to contribute to our discussion. By using the chat box, you can do that. Express yourself, express your opinion, whatever you have in mind that will contribute to our discussion, co-issues. And that includes also shouting out. Greetings. Anyway, let's continue. So the video showed Penny putting Neely on a chokehold on May 1, following outbursts from Neely on an F train. Several witnesses observed Neely making threats. Steinglass told the judge Penny held Neely for several minutes, and at some point Neely stopped moving, but Penny continued to hold him for a period of time. That's according to Steinglass. Steinglass is the what do you call this? Assistant district attorney. Penny remained on the scene to talk with police. Are we back? Right. In YouTube. Okay, anyway. Let's continue co-issues. Alright. Where are we? So, that's what happened. So, let's take a look at the circumstances before the death of Jordan Neely due to the choking made by Daniel Penny. So according to this news from, again, alright, okay, let's have this news from the CNN, and let me close the other one first before shifting. In this article from the CNN, co-issues, right? What we know about, what we know about Jordan Neely's chokehold death on the New York subway. In this article, it says a video of a man experiencing homelessness who later died after being held in a chokehold on the New York City subway has drawn national attention. So according to this, Jordan Neely, 30, shouted at passengers that he was hungry, thirsty, and tired of having nothing before he was grabbed from behind in a chokehold by a Marine veteran. Neely, a well-known Michael Jackson impersonator in Times Square and on the subway, was pronounced dead at a hospital. So here's what we know about his death, which has divided a city struggling with mounting homelessness and growing numbers of people with mental illness on the streets and subways. Neely was killed Monday afternoon after being held in a chokehold when he got on a train and shouted at passengers. So therefore, the scene or what happened, co-issues, was that as he entered, this is according to this news, he was acting erratic. Okay? He shouted at passengers. And we have lots and lots of that kind of video in the social media, posted in the social media, that has that same scene, or that same similar similar you know what I mean. So in his thoughts, Neely did not harm anyone, nor did they see him armed with any weapon. Neely was experiencing homelessness, according to a source familiar with his case. Okay, so let's just proceed. On the minutes before the deadly chokehold, Neely had been acting erratically, as what I've mentioned earlier, but he did not attack anyone. That's according to one Alberto Vasquez, who recorded the altercation on video. Neely yelled about being fed up and hungry and tired of having nothing. That's according to Vasquez. Okay, so we're back. So the circumstance prior to the death of Jordan Neely was that he entered a car on the subway train, and he been shouting, which alarmed the rest of the passengers. That is why some of them moved to a part away from Jordan Neely. And this veteran, by the name of Daniel Penny, come to the rescue, acted on that violent, though Jordan Neely were not assaulting anybody at that time, but probably because, as if you are not familiar with how train actually works co-issue, you cannot just ask the driver or whatever to let the train stop so that you can dismount, you can disembark. That is not how trains work issues. So, in this case, as things might escalate to a more violent kind issues, which might going to happen, knowing the history of the man, Jordan Neely, it might elevate to that point where people will get hurt. Penny acted before people would might get hurt. Of this Jordan Neely, as being published on daily news issues, this we can have an idea of the background of this Jordan Neely, who, yes, we sympathize to his family, but you know, there might be a what we call this, a more disastrous event that might going to happen. If I'm not saying here that or we condone the action done by Daniel Penny, but his act or his action might, as what I mentioned again, co-issues, or as I will emphasize, we don't know what will happen after if this Daniel Penny did not acted as what had happened, co-issues. We might never know. Right? We might never know. We might not going to learn or to know whether this Jordan Neely will ease in that erratic behavior he shows in the car, in the subway car, or could lead to hurting other passengers in that subway train. That's the thing. That's what I want to emphasize, co-issues. Now, according to this article from Daily News, Jordan Neely, who died in subway chokehold, should have been rehab, says victim of 2019 attack. It says Jordan Neely should have been in rehabilitation center, not on the street, before he died from a chokehold Monday on the F train. Philemon Castillo Baltazar, whom Neely assaulted in 2019, this guy here. Whatever I have right here. But anyway, the show must go on. Okay, I'll just
boy attending middle school in middle.
I'll just go directly to the portion where this boy narrates his story.
I have been told that my shirt was targeting a protected class. Who is this protected class? Are their feelings more important than my rights? I don't complain when I see pride flags and diversity posters hung throughout the school. Do you know why? Because others have a right to their beliefs just as I do. Even at 12 years old, I have my own political opinions, and I have a right to express those opinions. Even at school, this right is called the First Amendment to the Constitution. I feel like these adults were telling me that it wasn't okay for me to have an opposing view. Their arguments were weak, in my opinion. I didn't go to school that day to hurt feelings or cause trouble. I have learned a lot from this experience. I learned that a lot of other students share my view. I learned that adults don't always do the right thing or make the right decisions.
Liam probably learned more about the adult world that day than he did throughout the entire school year. Yes, Liam, adults make a lot of poor decisions that affect.
Okay, for a while, co-issues, because I am having trouble gaining some. Am I still on? Right. I hope that because I'm not gaining enough FPS. I don't know why this is happening to my live streaming, but hopefully co-issues. Alright, let me just wait for anyway. So that is what been told by that boy, because actually he just wore a shirt that says there are only two genders. So that is what we are going to tackle on this topic. The they them is demonic. Because issues, the idea of this, because we are going to focus on the non-binary thing that happened in our society, co-issues. Because this is the hot topic that has been circulating, that is currently happening in our society, in which some are using this as their agenda to promote what we call this bigotry, to promote spiritual corruption and demonic attitude. Why I said that this is demonic attitude? Let me first talk about this article posted on this website. This website name is -18.org.au, where it says, I just came out as a non-binary, and here's what that means. And this article posted on January 7, 2021. It says, my name is Arlo and I'm transgender. That means that I don't identify with the gender I was assigned at birth. I'm not a girl, and the thing is, I'm not a boy either. So it shows co-issues that he is non-binary, because in the actually this non-binary thing is just new. This is just recent. This is not ancient. This is just modern concept of a word that people didn't or doesn't subscribe to any gender identity. This is what this non-binary is all about. Subscribing to any recognized natural gender identity. So this is non-binary as mentioned here. I'm not a boy. I'm not a girl. Okay? The gender binary is the Western. Take note of that. Western concept. The gender binary is the Western concept, which is actually false. This is a false declaration. This is not a Western concept. Gender binary is not a Western concept only. No? It is a global concept. And only a few, less than 1%, subscribe to this idea that there is such a thing as non-binary. Subscribe to the idea that there is such a thing as non-binary. Okay, let's continue with this article. Personally, I identify outside of the gender binary entirely. I'm not a boy or girl at all. Some other non-binary people might identify partially with one or more of the binary genders. What? One half male, one half female. There is such kind as gender fluid, meaning whose gender changes over time. Probably in the morning, that person is a male, and by the afternoon, that person is a female. So that's how corrupted this idea co-issues. How corrupted this idea is. Okay? Now, so how different are you now? In a lot of ways, I'm a person that I always been. If anything, I'm more authentic. Actually, you're not authentic. Whoever is writing this one, you're not authentic. You are just disguising. You have a more or a deeper problem, or a deeper something troubling you than your gender identity. Okay. Now let's proceed to the principle, or the concept of pronoun, because so that is what we are actually going to talk about. Why that they them is a demonic. Okay. According to this from Scriber, a pronoun is a word that stands in for a noun, often to avoid the need to repeat the same noun over and over. Like nouns, pronouns can refer to people, things, concept, and places. Most sentences contain at least one noun or pronoun. People tends to use pronouns to mean personal pronouns specifically, but there are many other kinds of pronouns that are just as important to English grammar. The words highlighted, okay, I, her, hers. If you use the pronoun her, you're referring to a female. If you're using a he pronoun, you're referring to a male. Now, this is what is interesting, actually, co-issues. Because in the personal pronoun, we have the concept of first person pronouns, that is I, we, us. The second person pronouns is the you, yours. Then the third person pronoun, that is them, they for plural, she, he, it for things. We have a list here. He, she, it, they. And take note that the they, them is designated as plural. Now, recently, this one is added. Okay? Take note that this is published on December 1, 2022 by Jack Caulfield and revised on February 24, 2023, just recent. The singular they. So what is the justification of the singular they? The use of the third person plural pronoun they with a singular meaning refer to one person without using he or she. The singular they has existed for hundreds of years, but it was long condemned as grammatically incorrect Take note of that. It existed, allegedly, hundreds of years, but it was condemned as incorrect. Now it's recommended by most style guides and dictionaries as the best choice when you need a gender-neutral singular pronoun. Because of walkinism, if that's a correct term, if that's a right term, because of the principles, because of the corrupt idea, corrupt mind, evil idea instilled by the devil to these people. Okay, another one from ISSUE. ISSUE, by the way, is Santa. Let me open their website, issue.edu. And I was surprised that they have this kind of content in their website, in which if you'll take a look at their website co-issues, it says here, Santa Clara University, the Jesuit University in Silicon Valley. SCU, Santa Clara University, Jesuit University, meaning it's a Catholic school in Santa Clara. I don't know where that is. Is that in US? Santa Clara, a Jesuit University co-issues, but they have this kind of content in their website. This is, I get, the link is on the description box if you want to read more of this. So they as a singular pronoun, maybe you have been blah blah blah. That's not surprising. Here we are, reveal history about it. Okay, so according to the history surrounding the singular they, Oxford Dictionary, they showed up in writing 1375, over 600 years ago. The OED, or Oxford English Dictionary, suggests the usage is even older, since written language usually reflects trends already present in spoken language. And it's worth noting that you and your had a somewhat similar story, but in reverse. Okay. This one talks about the you referring a singular, or originally is a plural, used also in a plural, but recently accepted as a pronoun used for referring to second person singular. Okay. Certain organizations are more open to the singular they, and some that were once opposed the usage are softening their stance. Okay. So here is a list. Some argue that one should be the singular pronoun if people want to avoid using binary pronouns, but one can seem overly formal or stilted. And non-binary pronouns, though used more in recent years, are not yet very common in people's vocabulary. So that leaves us with they. Okay. So, if you want to use the singular they in your writing, have a conversation with your professor. Ask them how flexible they can be, especially when they're considering this long history and the emphasis on inclusivity. Take note when it comes to the singular they. That's from a Catholic school co-issues. Catholic school. So that is also the same content that we can view on the brief history of here, singular they, from Oxford English Dictionary. This is a blog, meaning it is an opinion from this guy named Dennis Barron, professor of English and Linguistic at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, where he tackles about this history about the they word used as a singular. Because according to him, the Oxford traces singular they back to 1375, where it appears as a medieval romance, William and the Werewolf. Except for the old style language at the poem, its use of singular they to refer to an unnamed person seems very modern. Here's the Middle English version. Hastily, I don't know where's the they here. So in English modern, it says, each man hurried till they drew near, where William and his darling were lying together. So that's their defense, co-issues. Okay? Now, why did I say that this is demonic co-issues? Because there is a story in the New Testament where Jesus Christ, the Lord, exorcised a demon-possessed man, which the they, them pronoun is actually used. Okay? Let me show you that passage so that you will know how it was used, referring to a single person. Okay? Referring to a single person who is demon possessed. Okay. Are you ready? In Matthew chapter 8 verses 28 to 31 or 34, here is the story. And it also appears in Mark 5, 1 to 21. And also in Luke 8, 26 to 40. It says here, when he arrived in the other side of the region of Gadarenes, two demon-possessed men, in this case, two person, both are male, named, designated here, or specifically mentioned here as men. Okay? Let me enlarge this. Okay. Then, they were so violent that no one could pass that way. What do you want with us, Son of God? They shouted. Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time? They're referring to themselves because they are two in this case, in this story from Matthew. Okay, he said, some distance from them, a large herd of pigs was feeding. The demons begged Jesus, if you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs. He said to them, go! So they came out. They came out. Why they referred to as they? In Mark chapter 5, we can determine, we can learn that why the spirit is they. Though in this story there are two demon possessed, but in Mark it's only one. Okay, it's only one. Okay, let me read it to you. Okay, the same story. When they were they went across the lake in the region of Gerasenes. Okay, now when he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and fell on his knees in front. He shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me? In God's name, don't torture me." For Jesus had said to him, "Come out of this man, you impure spirit." Okay. Then Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" Take note that this